Rosa, and today we're going to talk about skills, primary and secondary sources. What is a primary source or a secondary source? A primary source is a person who lived through an event in the past. Because today if they have remembered that event, they could tell you what happens in the past. And that's called a primary source. A secondary source is a person who doesn't live through an event in the past. But if you are a history teacher, but you haven't lived in that time of the past, maybe you learn it, and soon you will tell some of your students about it. Have you ever heard of the word encyclopedia? But what does encyclopedia mean? Encyclopedia means an information of knowledge of equality. For example, my grandmother had lived through the ancient time before the Uncle Ho died. You mean that she had been living in the world when Uncle Ho dies, and if she tells me that event, she is called a primary source. For example, me, I haven't lived anything from that past. I didn't live in that past because my grandmother lived in the time when there is still war. This is a war, but my father told me that there is a bomb named Napalm, and it's really huge. My father also told me, my uncle also told me that when a bomb explodes, it does not have its shapes already. It may look like an octopus shaped like a bomb. You might think that it's silly. You know that there are many and thousands of people are dead. Many people are dead, but some are hurt because this bomb is really huge. Because my family went to a museum. You know that. So, if my father doesn't live in a time of war, maybe he learned it from my grandmother, because she is the one in the family who lives in the past where there is still war. That's when the country is still not peaceful as today. You might think he is a secondary source. A primary source is a person who lives in the past, lives in an event, and lives until today. And a secondary source is a person who doesn't live in the time of the past or living in an event. You might think they live in another event after the event that a primary person came from, and maybe until they live until today. And if they still remember, they are a primary source. But if I learn from another primary person, you might think they are secondary. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.